The Deco MW is one of XPPEN's better offerings for beginner digital artists interested in an affordable, screenless drawing tablet that can work with both a computer and a mobile device. Though it is compact, it's versatile and has everything a beginner would need. It even works with iPhones. Let's take a closer look. Hello, Ryan here. So let's dive right in. Not everyone has a budget for a pen display, right? Even though those are getting much cheaper now. So what's the alternative? Well, an affordable screenless drawing tablet. Now I know that sounds like a bit of a wacky way to work at first, looking at your monitor in front of you while you're drawing on a different surface. But you don't look at your mouse while you're moving your cursor around, do you? No, it just takes a little bit of time to get used to and that hand-eye coordination clicks. And these sorts of devices were around long before pen displays were widely available, right? People were making amazing art with them then, and some people still even prefer those old Intuos tablets today. I'll do another video soon on sort of screen versus screenless tablets because there are some pros and cons to each. But for now, we're going to focus on this Deco MW. Firstly, this tablet was not sent to me by XPPEN. They didn't ask for a review of it. I was curious, I needed something compact to take with me while I've been traveling. And of course, I need to grow the content here on the channel, so here we are. Inside the box, we get the tablet, the X3 Elite stylus, some spare pen nibs, a pen nib remover, a USB-A to USB-C connector cable, USB-A on-the-go adapters, a USB Bluetooth dongle, the warranty booklet, and quick start guide for computer and mobile devices. Looking at the tablet, this is the black MW. There are 3 other colors that it comes in. It has an 8x5 inch drawing area with a smooth matte surface. It has a slight bit of tooth to it, which gives just the right amount of resistance when drawing. To one side we have the express keys. There are 8 here, with 6 of them having these braille-like bumps on them. For some, this might give you a bit of a better sense of what button you're resting over, rather than having to look down at your tablet to see which button you're pressing. On the side we have the USB-C port and the power button for using this in Bluetooth mode, which I'll get to in a bit. Underneath we have the rubber feet in each corner to keep the tablet from sliding around. When it comes to placing the tablet, there are 2 ways you're likely to use this. One is to have it right in front of you while you're looking directly at the screen. The other is to have it off to the side in place of your mouse. And with the size of this, it actually works quite well in that setup. Before you jump into drawing, you are going to need to download the driver from the XPPEN website. It's all pretty straightforward stuff. After downloading it and installing it, you'll have this pen tablet application on your computer, and this is where you'll be able to customize all your various tablet settings. The first tab covers the display and the mapping of the tablet. Then we have the pen settings, where you can adjust your pressure curve and also what the pen buttons do. Lastly, we have the shortcut keys on the tablet, and these can be programmed to different keyboard keys and combinations, modifier keys, mouse clicks. You can even set them to run different applications, switch between your brush or your eraser, or switch between active monitors. So if you're using a dual monitor setup like I've got here, instead of grabbing your mouse to move the cursor over, you can just hit one of your express keys or a pen button and your cursor will jump over to the other screen. You can also have different settings profiles for different applications that you're using. So if you want your shortcuts assigned in a particular way for painting in Krita and another for when you're modeling in Blender, then you can do that. And it'll automatically recognize when you switch programs, and the shortcuts will change accordingly. Now before you go and close your settings window by hitting the old X on the top right like I did, make sure you hit this OK button on the bottom left first. I noticed my settings weren't saving because I hadn't done this. Now let's talk about the pen and the drawing experience. The tablet comes with this X3 Elite stylus that we're seeing in XPPEN's newer line of tablets, including the Artist 2nd Gens. Like most pens today, it's battery free, it has 8192 levels of pressure sensitivity, and there's 60 degrees of tilt. The main improvement with these pens is the initial activation rate. As I mentioned in my last review, this is a way more important specification than how many levels of pressure sensitivity your pen has. Some of the older Wacom tablets would have a smaller range of pressure sensitivity, but the initial activation rate was really good, so you could feel that range much better. According to XPPEN, it now only takes 3 grams of force for these pens to start registering the pressure and for a line to appear. So you can hold the pen at the back and just lightly drag it across the tablet and it's enough for your lines to start appearing. This technology hasn't been without its wobbles though, quite literally. When it first came out with the Artist Pro 16, some reviewers were reporting like a lot of line wobble. With the Deco MW though, it doesn't seem to be a problem. I'll open up Clip Studio Paint here and we can do a quick line test. First, just to show that sensitivity, holding the pen at the back, just lightly dragging it across the tablet. There we go, there's already a line. It's so much more sensitive than their previous pens. Doing circles, I can get both consistent and varied line weights. Quick lines look good, but it's the slow diagonals that are the real test. So let me grab my ruler here in case my hand is a little too unsteady. I'm really not seeing any wave to my line here, and that's great. As a painter though, I don't mind if there is a bit of wobble in my lines because I'm doing looser marks to sketch and broad strokes of paint to build up a piece. If you are doing line art and comics, then you may want to keep a closer eye on line quality. If you do notice some wobble, applications like Clip Studio Paint have really good stabilization to neaten up your lines, but it can impact the performance of the program as well. When it comes to connecting this via Bluetooth, I didn't notice any sort of difference in latency. The responsiveness was great, whether it was wired or connected wirelessly. You can get about 10 hours of wireless use out of this, and you can check the battery life in the driver. Now, what about using this with mobile devices? You can connect this to your Android phone using the included on-the-go adapters, or if you have a single USB-C cable, then that'll work too. I did notice though with my phone, which is a Xiaomi 11C Pro, that I didn't get a cursor when I connected the tablet. But on my wife's phone, which is also a Xiaomi device, that one does have a cursor. It's weird, I don't know why this happens, but some apps you'll still be fine to use, like Clip Studio Paint or Sketchbook or Artflow. You might just have to adjust some of the settings in your app to make sure that your brush shape appears where you're hovering the pen. What if you don't have an Android phone though and you have an iPhone? Well, XPPEN's wireless Deco series are the first drawing tablets that actually work with iOS, but they can only connect wirelessly and you can only use them with IBIS Paint X. You will need to go into the app settings to make sure that your tablet is connected. This worked for me on the iPad as well, but I had to forget the Bluetooth connection and repair the devices each time that I wanted to use it. Spending some time painting with this, it's pretty good. The pen is responsive. Something that did bug me a little bit initially though was just how close to the edge of the tablet the active area is. So my hand would kind of slip off if it was resting on the tablet and I wanted to grab something on the edge of my display. It's not a big deal though, you get used to it. So to conclude, is this a good option? I'm going to say yes. It's a really versatile device, it works really well with computer. You can use it wirelessly or with a mobile device, whether it's Android or iOS. And for $70, I think it's a pretty good deal. Often you can find it for much less though. XPPEN frequently runs sales, especially now during the holiday season. If you don't need the wireless capabilities though, you're going to be using this primarily with your computer and not with your phone, then I would step up to the Deco L for a slightly larger working area, a more comfortable drawing experience, and for the same price. If you're looking for an affordable pen display, you want to draw directly on a screen with the same sort of pen technology inside, then you're going to want to head over to my review of the Artist 12 2nd Gen next. That's all for this one. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, drop a comment below, and I'll see you guys again soon. Yeah,